This is the other thing. They have taken me many a times over the past, I was going to say 10 years, but I don't think so. I think maybe over the past 5 or 6. I don't know. I really have a hard time with time, don't I? Forgive me. I don't know that ever matters. I'm not sure. But ironically, that's what we're going to talk about, is they keep taking, oh, that's really funny. Maybe that's a message for me. They keep taking me to different spots in the Bible where it talks about specific times, like in 3 years and 6 years and, 49 years, all these things, which I have always found funny because I've had different people say to me throughout my life, different numbers to me or different ages when events would occur, and random stuff, like random people, just random stuff. But this happens to me. This happens to me all the time. But what's those random people and those random comments about random times in my life have all been in unison. In other words, these people didn't know each other. They were all like random, some decades apart, but they all made essentially the same comment to me. And I brushed it aside. I thought. The reason I say I thought is, or did I call it in, right? Or was it deeply embedded in me? And those times have arrived and those incidences have occurred. And then those reminders of that passing comment has been recalled, and I'm like, oh God. Which then begs the question of time, right? And it does feel like at times I time travel and they do take me to different spaces and places and times and dimensions. So then it's like, wait a minute. Have I been here before? Many times. And, it is all a love story. That's all it is. It's all it all is. Us falling in love with us. God falling in love with himself over and over and over again. But you have to learn those lessons, and you have to learn the real from the fake, and you have to want the real from the fake. You have to choose the real from the fake, and you have to choose that because that will bring you bliss and peace and ease. Yet if you continue to choose the chaos and the trauma and the frying, then you keep getting that. You twirl one way or the other. And we look at, like, when we continue to choose the trauma, the chaos, all that over and over, then we like to label it good and evil and have that battle with the other, right? And that continues on and on and on until you choose you, until you love you, until you learn your lessons, until you go through it all and finally settle into loving yourself and learning yourself and getting to know yourself, which is getting to know unconditional love. And then from there, it's like bliss ensues, right? And then it's like, yeah, you can breathe easy again, right? Like you can, it's like put it all down, put all the burdens down, put all the trauma down, put all the past down, put all the tug of war and the fighting and the nonsense and just be, right? Just be in the present moment and just allow life to flow through you and to you, for you. And because you've then, it's like hopped on the new timeline. You've hopped on the new disc. You've hopped on the higher vantage point. You've hopped on choosing you and feeling your best and loving yourself and loving your life. So then you get more of that, right? Like when you choose to turn the wheel, meaning turn your focus, turn your thoughts, your beliefs, your mind towards better, towards feeling good, to loving yourself, to peace and calm, to... It's like you really have to make that different choice. And the reason I think they're making a big point about this is I know that was a hard thing for me, and I think that's a hard part for a lot of people when we're stuck in looking at the bad or the trauma. It's really hard to even hear or understand. And we've talked about this. It's like being at the bottom of the ocean. you can't actually hear. And, but you got to love yourself so much that you keep going. And so it's like, you're so familiar with those choices, and it's like you're trying so hard in your thinking mind that you overlook your body's signals. And the more you choose your body and relaxing into it and honoring it and respecting the signals and unraveling all that and releasing that tight bud and opening it up, it is like the more you can see. The more you can feel, the more you can understand, the more you can accept, the more you can allow. The best way, it's like the easier it is to choose you. The easier it is to hear. The easier it is to make a different choice. The easier it is to see the different choice. Maybe that's what it is. It's like oftentimes I don't think people see the different choice because they can't hear. They're so stuck on arguing why they can't, or what they're dealing with, or they're just so fixated. And this was, if you recall, this has been a continually big lesson for me, to stop arguing with them. Stop trying to get them to see, because I kept getting stung in my quote attempt to help. And it's like, well, you also need help because you are seeing them as needing help, right? It's like that was a big, long, hard lesson for me. And a familiar one. Okay, that's interesting. Yes. Okay, so they're also making a point about this. Not only that, but it was also familiar to me. And because it was familiar to me, it's like even when I would pivot and understand what I just explained to you, that new pathway of seeing everybody healed and whole and happy and choosing, it was like too fresh still. It was too new still. It wasn't worn in enough. It wasn't familiar. It wasn't familiar. So even though it felt good, and even though I had chosen that and I was continuing down that path, when there were bumps in the road, I would go back. I would revert back to an old timeline or old pathway or old pattern of jumping into, quote, save or help, not seeing my own downfall, my downfall of seeing the bad, seeing that they needed help was my downfall. And so we're just tripping ourselves up because we're choosing to. And it's not a bad thing. It's because we're not strong enough there yet. We haven't truly integrated that lesson yet. And so the more we're willing to love ourselves, learn ourselves, understand our patterns, the easier it is for us to finally, eventually, break them and integrate the new strong enough, easily enough, that it then becomes a new dominant, familiar, comfortable pattern, but that we've chosen. And so it's the idea of like no longer reverting back. It's like you've truly now learned that lesson. And you get to, again, up level. I think I said that in this one or a previous one. I can tell I'm going into bAbBLE mode, so I'm just going to jump off. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.